if there's an error, do something or log it. But once you get a bit beyond that, you can say, well, there's a functional programming approach to solving this problem, where you can define a dynamic function that handles the error and accepts your working function that operates in a non-error condition as its argument. So instead of having to write error handling code all over the place, you can push that into a single dynamic function. But you have to learn how to think in a functional way to start doing that.
Because the paradigm shift that's going on anyway, is the argument of less server code even as relevant? Because we're seeing more and more applications that are more client-side, where a lot of the intelligence is now residing in the browser, if you like. So essentially the server is more or less a gateway to read the data in and out. So therefore, I mean, we're typically seeing that server-side applications are falling in size, where the shift is now in the front end. So to say that there's a lot less code in the back end, is that as relevant anymore?
I still think it is, because of the simple empirical observation that bugs per line of code tends to be constant across all languages. And the fewer lines of code that you have to write, whatever you're doing, even in the face of a movement from server to client business logic, is still a win. And you're never going to move all of your business logic over to the client anyway, because you have to do your validation and permission checking and all that sort of stuff on the server, and you're stuck with it there. I think one of the other things to recognize in the hype around Node.js is this promise of the same code on the client and server. In practice, I'd say you wouldn't expect to put in more than 5% of the code in both places. It's just different sort of code. That isn't going to be a big win.
I think the server-side code volume thing as well is really the fact that the server is kind of disappearing. It's more to do with linking services together.
Exactly, yes.
It's more platform and service-based things going on there.
Exactly, and you can see that with services like parse.com, where they try to provide you with all the traditional stuff that you have on the server side, like user management and data synchronization and stuff like that. I don't think you entirely get away with not having server-side code, but there's definitely a movement there, and perhaps that's what the next area is.
I think we'll have to leave it there. Thanks everybody for your questions.